immigration is not a good place for the left to hit the Trump administration because it's a very popular issue. The deportations are a very, very popular issue. It was right toward the top of priorities for voters in 2024, and the popular vote goes to Trump. So I think they know they're going to lose on that front. They're trying out all sorts of other issues. Trump he's going to mess up the war in Ukraine or in Gaza. Ooh, his trade policy is going to be, they're trying anything to attack him. Hasn't really worked thus far. So one way they're going to try to hit him now is over Washington, D.C., the local government of Washington, D.C. I know it's not a big issue, but they're going to try to hit him and prove that he's a dictator, an authoritarian, a fascist, because he doesn't want people to be mugged and murdered in Washington, D.C. This all started because of Big Balls. You know Big Balls? Big Balls was the Doge staffer, 19 or 20, young guy who was helping to streamline the executive branch of the federal government. Big Balls has left the White House, and he was apparently just seriously mauled during a DC carjacking attempt by 10 vibrant youth who were going out. They were trying to carjack someone. I guess Big Balls intervened to try to help the person and ended up quite bloodied for his troubles. Trump tweets out about this or posts on Truth Social. He says, crime in Washington, D.C. is totally out of control. Local youths and gang members, some only 14, 15, 16 years old, are randomly attacking, mugging, maiming, and shooting innocent citizens at the same time knowing that they will be almost immediately released. They are not afraid of law enforcement because they know nothing ever happens to them. Fact check true. But it's going to happen now. The law in D.C. must be changed to prosecute these minors as adults, yes, and lock them up for a long time, yes, starting at age 14, yes. Harsh but fair. I don't know what else you're going to do. These people begin their careers in crime at these ages, especially when they join gangs. The most recent victim was beaten mercilessly by local thugs. Washington, D.C. must be safe, clean, and beautiful for all Americans, and importantly, for the world to see. If D.C. doesn't get its act together, and quickly, we will have no choice but to take federal control of the city and run this city how it should be run and put criminals on notice that they're not going to get away with it anymore. Perhaps it should have been done a long time ago. Then this incredible young man and so many others would not have had to go through the horrors of violent crime. If this continues, I'm going to exert my powers and federalize this city, make America great again. So New York Times freaking out about this. Trump threatens federal takeover of Washington after member of Doge is assaulted. Federal takeover. That headline is false. That is fake news. That's a lie. Trump cannot issue a federal takeover of Washington because Washington, D.C. already belongs to the federal government. Let me repeat that. Many liberals don't seem to understand it. They think Washington, D.C. is a city like any other city in the country, like New York, Chicago, L.A. It is not. It is not. It's not a normal city. It's not a part of a state. It is part of the federal district, and the federal government owns it. That is federal property, which means it belongs to all of us. Washington, D.C. does not belong to the local residents of Washington, D.C. They don't have any particular right to Washington, D.C. If they want to have a particular right to their city, go move somewhere else. That is not their city. That has never been their city. They don't deserve representation in our government. That is our city. And that's been true all the way back to the framing of the Constitution. You got to go to shopify.com/Knowles. You know, I am a business owner. I'm something of a business owner myself. I've started multiple businesses over the course of something like 15 years now. And something I certainly would have loved to have been around for a long, long time, all the way back to the beginning, is Shopify. Shopify makes it so easy. Shopify is the commerce platform behind millions of businesses around the world, 10% of all e-commerce in the US. We even use it for our own Daily Wire shop to make sure things are running smoothly and efficiently so all can get the goods. Now you might be asking, what if I cannot design a website? What if people haven't heard about my brand? No problem. Shopify's got you covered from the start with beautiful, ready-to-go templates that match your brand style, helps you find customers through easy-to-run email and social media campaigns. And if you need a hand with everyday tasks, their AI tools created specifically for commerce can help enhance product images, write descriptions, and more. Plus, Their award-winning customer support is available 24/7 to share advice if you ever get stuck. Turn your big business into with Shopify on your side. Sign up for your $1 per month trial. Start selling today at shopify.com/Knowles, shopify.com/KNWLES, shopify.com/Knowles. The Constitution, Article 1, Section 7, I think it's, what is it, Section 7? Maybe Section 18. I don't know. Don't quote me on the exact section. Says that Congress runs Washington, D.C. in all cases whatsoever. In all cases whatsoever. How did we get to this point of confusion where local D.C. residents thought that this was their city, that they could do with as they pleased and turn into a garbage heap if they wanted to? The way we got to this confusion is 1973. 1973, Congress gives D.C. home rule. This was a big mistake. You know, I love Richard Nixon. I think he's a highly underestimated president. I think he's one of the great political thinkers of the 20th century. This was one little bit of a mistake, I think. In retrospect, it was a little bit of a mistake. D.C. should not have gotten home rule. Per the Constitution, Congress runs D.C. Practically speaking, Congress had implemented all sorts of government rules and apparatchiks and agencies over the course of those centuries to run Washington, D.C. And this is what relates to President Trump threatening to take over D.C. The president also had a role here because the president, for over 100 years before D.C. home rule, the president would appoint a mayor or a governor of Washington, D.C. So there would be a person whose job it was to run D.C., but this person was not elected by radical leftists who lived in D.C. It wasn't going to be Mayor Bowser. It was going to be a representative of the federal government, as it should be. Now, the other thing you're going to hear leftists say is, well, crime in D.C. has come down recently. Not really. Yeah, crime in D.C. is down a little bit from where it was in 2023. But there was a huge spike leading up to 2023. Huge spike in crime. And it's not just big balls, okay? It's also Henry Cuellar. Henry Cuellar is a Democrat member of Congress. He was carjacked at gunpoint by Capitol Hill. For those of you not familiar with the geography of Washington, D.C., I'm quite familiar with the geography of Washington, D.C., you have nicer areas and less nice areas. See, some of the ritziest areas would be like Georgetown over here on the west side of things. Then pretty nice area by the White House. Capitol Hill's a little less nice in those areas, but still, it's Capitol Hill. You have a lot of lawmakers there. It should be kind of nice, a lot of staffers, there were some bougie bars. A member of Congress is carjacked at gunpoint at Capitol Hill. Northeast DC is a war zone, but even by Capitol Hill, around the same time that happened, this is within the last couple of years, Naomi Biden, the granddaughter of the then president of the United States, was carjacked in Georgetown. Georgetown is like the nicest part of Washington, D.C. Was carjacked in Georgetown. It was a Secret Service vehicle. The guy opened up the Secret Service vehicle. A Secret Service agent reportedly fired shots at this guy, didn't get him. The guy gets away with it. Eventually, I think he was arrested. But the guy gets away with it in the immediate aftermath. This is the granddaughter of the president in a Secret Service vehicle in Georgetown. Obviously, something's going wrong in D.C. The question is, if you're President Trump, are you just going to let that happen? Are you going to ignore the letter and spirit, but also letter of the Constitution? Are you going to ignore the fact that Washington is the national capital and that the people of the United States, all over the United States, have a right to it? And the politicians who work in D.C. need to have a safe city. Are you going to do that? Or are you going to embrace some false notion of democracy? Are you going to contradict the Constitution? And are you going to be on the side of the gangsters? That's it. Are you on the side of the innocent people? Are you on the side of the victims? Are you on the side of the Constitution? Or are you on the side of DC thug, gun-wielding, carjacking gangsters? Which is it? Democrats have picked a side. As usual, they're on the side of the criminals and the violent people, and they're against the Constitution. What Trump is doing here, this shouldn't even be a headline. Trump threatens to do the thing that the Constitution tells him to do. Trump threatens to Act in the politics of D.C. as the political order is actually set. Okay. I'm glad you like that clip. That makes me feel good. I hope the clip did something in your life. It edified you. If you want more of them, subscribe, and I will see you here next time.